Swadesh, movie summary. Swadesh, We, the People is a 2004 Bollywood film directed by Ashutosh Gavarekar, starring Shah Rukh Khan in the lead role as Mohan Bhargava. The movie is a poignant reflection on rural India and the role of educated citizens in contributing to the nation's development. It stands out for its depiction of complex social issues like poverty, caste discrimination, and the brain drain of Indian talent to the West. At its heart, Swadesh is a story of self-realization, identity, and returning to one's roots, with themes that revolve around the responsibility of the privileged to give back to society. Plot summary. Mohan Bhargava's life in the U.S. The movie opens with Mohan Bhargava, a highly successful project manager at NASA, living in the United States. He is depicted as a man with a bright future, working on a mission related to launching satellites. Although he leads a comfortable life, something weighs heavily on his mind. Mohan is haunted by memories of his childhood caretaker, Kaveri Amma, who had looked after him after his parents' death but from whom he has lost touch over the years. One day, Mohan decides to take a break from his busy life in America to visit India and find Kaveri Amma. He feels a strong sense of guilt for having abandoned her and is driven by the desire to bring her back to the U.S. to live with him. This journey marks the beginning of his transformation and self-discovery. Return to India and encounter with rural life. Mohan arrives in India and begins his search for Kaveri Amma. His journey takes him to Karanpur, a small and remote village where Kaveri Amma now lives. As he arrives in the village, Mohan is confronted with the stark realities of rural India: poverty, lack of infrastructure, caste divisions, and a general sense of neglect. The simplicity and backwardness of village life stand in contrast to the modern, high-tech world he left behind in the U.S. In Karanpur, Mohan reunites with Kaveri Amma, who is overjoyed to see him after so many years. However, she is hesitant about leaving the village, as she feels a sense of duty towards the people who have become her family. During his stay in the village, Mohan also meets Geeta, a young woman who is a school teacher and a strong advocate for social change. Geeta is passionate about improving education for the village children and fighting against the regressive practices that hold the villagers back. Mohan's disconnection and Geeta's vision. Initially, Mohan struggles to connect with the village's way of life. His modern sensibilities clash with the traditional mindset of the villagers, and he views their problems from an outsider's perspective. He believes that development and progress can only happen through technological and structural improvements. Geeta, however, challenges his worldview, arguing that true change must come from within the community through education, empowerment, and collective responsibility. As Mohan spends more time in the village, he begins to see the wisdom in Geeta's perspective. He witnesses firsthand the struggles faced by the villagers, such as the lack of access to basic amenities like electricity, clean water, and education. The caste system and its oppressive hold on the villagers are also a harsh reality that Mohan comes to understand. The deep-rooted social hierarchy prevents people from moving forward, and many remain stuck in a cycle of poverty and ignorance. Despite his initial reluctance to get involved in village life, Mohan is drawn into the community's struggles. He starts helping out with local projects, including assisting Geeta in her mission to improve the school and convince villagers to send their children to get an education, particularly the girls. Geeta's passion and determination inspire Mohan to reconsider his views on development and his role in helping his country. Realization of rural India's challenges. One of the most significant turning points in the movie comes when Mohan visits a poor family in a nearby village to collect overdue rent on behalf of Kaveri Amma. The family, which belongs to a lower caste, is struggling to survive due to extreme poverty. Mohan sees that they have no electricity, and the father is barely able to make ends meet by working as a weaver. The family's plight deeply affects Mohan, as he realizes the gravity of the challenges faced by millions of Indians in rural areas. This moment serves as an emotional awakening for Mohan. It forces him to confront the disparity between his life in the U.S. and the harsh realities of his own country. The scene is a critical commentary on the growing gap between urban and rural India, as well as the brain drain of educated Indians who leave the country for better opportunities abroad, while their homeland continues to struggle with basic issues like electricity, water, and healthcare. The watermill and self-sufficiency. Mohan's journey of transformation continues when he decides to address one of the village's most pressing issues, the lack of electricity. Kiranpur, like many villages in India, relies on erratic power supplies that hinder productivity and quality of life. Mohan devises a plan to harness hydroelectric power from a nearby water source by building a small watermill. He enlists the help of the villagers, who initially doubt the feasibility of the project. The watermill becomes a symbol of self-reliance and the potential for grassroots innovation to solve local problems. Mohan's project not only brings electricity to the village but also fosters a sense of community and collaboration among the villagers. They begin to take ownership of their future and realize that they have the power to bring about change, rather than waiting for government intervention or outside help. The success of the watermill is a turning point for Mohan, who comes to understand that true development is not just about technological solutions, but also about empowering people to take control of their own lives. It marks a shift in Mohan's understanding of his place in the world and his responsibility towards his country. Inner conflict, staying or leaving. As Mohan becomes more integrated into village life and builds deeper connections with the people of Kiranpur, he faces a personal dilemma. His initial plan was to return to the US with Kaveri Amma, but now he is torn between the comfortable life he had built abroad and the newfound sense of purpose he has discovered in India. Kaveri Amma and Geeta, who both care deeply for Mohan, understand his inner conflict but urge him to make the decision that will bring him peace. Geeta, in particular, challenges Mohan's desire to escape back to the US, reminding him that India needs people like him, educated, skilled, and passionate individuals who can make a difference. The film's emotional core lies in this conflict between personal ambition and social responsibility. Mohan's character arc is shaped by his gradual realization that while he may have achieved great success abroad, his true calling lies in contributing to the development of his homeland. Return to NASA and final decision. After completing the watermill project, Mohan returns to the US to fulfill his commitments at NASA. However, his heart remains in India. As he resumes his work in the high-tech world of space exploration, Mohan is constantly reminded of the simple yet profound lessons he learned in Kiranpur. The contrast between the technologically advanced environment of NASA and the basic needs of the villagers weighs heavily on his conscience. Mohan's final decision to return to India marks the climax of the film. He realizes that his place is not in the world of cutting-edge science and technology but in the service of his country. The transformation is complete when Mohan returns to Kiranpur, this time with a renewed sense of purpose and belonging. He chooses to stay in the village, to continue working for the betterment of rural India, and to fulfill the vision that Geeta and Kaveri Amma had shared with him. Mohan's return is symbolic of the film's central theme, the idea that true success and fulfillment come not from individual achievements but from contributing to the collective good of society. Themes and messages. Swadesh is a deeply philosophical film that explores several important themes. 1. Patriotism and national responsibility. At its core, Swadesh is a film about patriotism, but not in the conventional sense of national pride or military valor. The movie portrays patriotism as a sense of responsibility towards one's country and its people. It questions the idea of the brain drain, the migration of talented Indians to the West in search of better opportunities, and asks whether those who are privileged with education and resources should return to their roots and help build a better nation. Mohan's journey from the US to Kiranpur and back is a metaphor for the larger issue of India's development and the role of educated citizens in that process. The film suggests that true patriotism lies in actively working to improve one's country, especially for those who are disadvantaged and marginalized. 2. Rural development and grassroots change. The film highlights the challenges faced by rural India, where millions of people live without access to basic necessities like electricity, clean water, and education. Through Mohan's work in Kiranpur, the movie shows that small, grassroots efforts can bring about significant change in these communities. The construction of the watermill is a symbolic representation of the potential for local solutions to solve local problems. It emphasizes the importance of self-reliance and community-driven development, rather than waiting for external forces or government intervention. 3. Education and empowerment. Education is a key theme in Swadesh, particularly in the context of Geeta's efforts to improve the village school and encourage more children, especially girls, to attend. The film portrays education as a powerful tool for social change and individual empowerment. Through Geeta's character, The movie emphasizes the need to challenge regressive traditions and caste-based discrimination, which often prevent marginalized communities from accessing education and opportunities for growth. 4. Identity and self-realization. Mohan's journey in Swadesh is also a deeply personal one, as he grapples with questions of identity and belonging. At the beginning of the film, Mohan is disconnected from his roots, living a life of comfort and success in the US. However, as he reconnects with the people and culture of India, he realizes that his true identity is tied to his homeland and its struggles. The film suggests that self-realization comes from understanding one's place in the world and recognizing the responsibility that comes with privilege. Mohan's transformation from a detached outsider to an active participant in the village's development is a powerful commentary on the importance of personal growth and social engagement. Conclusion. Swadesh is more than just a film about one man's journey. It is a reflection on the broader challenges facing India as it grapples with issues of development, inequality, and the role of educated citizens in shaping the country's future. Through Mohan Bhargava's character, the movie explores the tension between personal ambition and social responsibility, ultimately suggesting that true fulfillment comes from contributing to the greater good. The film's message is one of hope, empowerment, and the belief that even small, individual efforts can lead to meaningful change. Swadesh remains a timeless and thought-provoking film that continues to resonate with audiences for its heartfelt portrayal of rural India and its call for social consciousness and responsibility.